Hi, my name is Bethany Lee, and this is a video on how to carve a very simple design using your basic stone carving tools. So we're going to do something very simple and very small right here. So I'll start off drawing the contour. We'll make a little flower, a very little flower. And you can use a pencil, you can use a China marker. That works well on stones where pencil doesn't show up very well. And you can also use colored pencil. Sometimes that shows up pretty well as well. Okay, so we have our contour of our design. And then you're going to take the flat chisel and using the corner of the flat chisel, so I place it flat on the block, rotate it slightly so that just the corner is digging into the surface. I'm going to carve carefully around the contour of this form. Trying to keep my edge as clean as possible. This block is a block of soapstone. And as you can see, it's somewhat difficult to keep the edges nice and clean as the stone is prone to chipping. So if you do this initial cutting in nice and lightly, that makes your job easier. Okay, so we have a full contour. Now, let's see, we need to clean up that part a little bit. If you get really close to the edge, it's often a good idea to pre-chip the edge off so that you don't inadvertently knock off more than you mean to knock off. There we go. Okay, so now you're going to take your point tool and make some radial lines going in toward the form that you just carved out. Okay, and then you'll take your tooth chisel and knock off the bumps between the lines that you've made, working around your form. There we go. Okay, so now you have this surface of your design that stands proud of a background that's sunk below it. The last step is to clean up the edges of your design. So we're going to go over that whole shape one more time with the flat chisel, but holding it straight up and down so that it's outlining the whole shape and making the shape distinct from the background stone. So now you have your clover leaf. And as a last step, if you want to, you can take a piece of sandpaper, a couple of grits of sandpaper. So say start with a 60 grit. Go over the surface. With that 60 grit sandpaper, and then we'll do maybe a 220. And then this is 600. Okay. And then if you take the oil on your finger, you can make that shape a little bit darker. Now we've gotten the design, we've lost the design a little bit in the sanding. And actually, if I wanted to be a little more precise, I could have put the sandpaper on a sanding block. But you can go back in with your flat chisel and redefine the design as well after you've sanded. There we go. So if you look at my Instagram page or at my website, so my website is www.belfineart.com. And my Instagram is at belfineart. You can see examples of my own work as well as work that my students have done that's more complex, but that basically uses the same principles. So thanks so much for watching. Again, my name is Bethany Lee. I'm a stone carver, and all my information is on my YouTube channel for this video. Thanks so much.